Peter, I'll make a YouTube link later for you all. So this way you
Thank
can
you.
go to it and it's not a problem. So, okay. So, just a little bit of background. So although I do a lot of training for Canvas and for all sorts of the tools here. If you have you both logged into Canvas for Notre Dame yet? Okay. So, like, I have no control of that, but if you need help accessing, did you get a technology packet maybe? Did they send you credentials? Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Mhm.
So, what you'll have to do is you'll have to follow the instructions on how to gain access. So that was sent by IT, and IT, they send everybody our technology packets, and that's how you'll access things. Typically. I will give you the warning that, passwords and stuff. If you have to, I'll give you the help desk phone number. It's 410-532-5200, or you can email them at helpdesk@ndm.edu. Uh, they do have like a help desk that can help you with most of the stuff like resetting passwords and stuff like that. But the easiest place that I usually go to is it's called portal.ndm.edu. It gives you access to just about everything, but also you can get to Outlook and stuff like that on the web. If you want to set up Outlook on your computers, you can, but I try to keep stuff simple. If you want to just do it web-based, you can go right there to Outlook and check your email and stuff like that. So that's what I suggest as you kind of come on board is just access it through the portal, and you should have your emails there. So it does ask you to reset your email every like 90 days. So sorry, my suggestion is come up with a pattern or write it down someplace. I don't think anybody's going to be looking to steal your passwords, but I do warn you, just like any university, any big business, there is phishing, so please be careful about what you're agreeing to and stuff like that. We have had data breaches before, so just be careful. They're very good about phishing. So that's just it in a nutshell. Just IT. If you're ever on campus, they're in Rice Hall. But that's all I'll kind of really go over with that. So Canvas. Canvas is our learning management system. What did Calvert Hall, or I'm sorry, what did Calvert County use when it comes to its learning management system?
Schoology?
Schoology.
School review. Okay. I mean, it's similar in some ways. What you'll do is you'll go to ndm.instructure.com. There's a link that's probably on your tech packet on how to access Canvas. And in a moment, if it's okay, ladies, I'm going to share my screen so this way you can see it. Okay. Okay. So here's my screen. This is the Canvas site that Molly set up for you all to work in. The way that the structure is with the students and how they're doing work and just how university supervisors kind of like interact with this. It was really smart on her part to kind of set this up as like a classroom and then with multiple instructors. So this way you come in and you can supervise your student, teacher interns. You can help. You can come and grade what they need to do and then move on from there. So when you first come into Canvas, you
Ryan, sorry, I'm going to back up a second. I just put in the chat the link to get to Canvas in case you need that. It's learn.nd. There's multiple ways to get there, but this
yeah.
is one. It's learn.ndm.edu.
Mhm.
And make sure you click NDM Canvas users, NDMU Canvas users. And then I think that should take them to their tiles, right? To the dashboard, Ryan.
It should take them to the dashboard, yeah.
Okay.
So here,
So
I can even
yeah.
click on the dashboard. So I just have to make sure I find your class again because I have 5,000 classes now. All right, so this is the dashboard. It has tiles. These tiles are just the classrooms when you enter them. Let me see if I can find yours. Was yours published, Molly?
Yes.
Okay, so it should be easy to find. Here it is, right here. All right, so it says the title is kind of like truncated a little bit. It says Fall 2026 Intern, Stu Teach Elm, and then if you click in here, you can enter it. Okay, and this is what you should see. So Canvas, like I haven't used Schoolology, I think, since it was brand new. But what Canvas does, it tries to put everything into one kind of location for you all just to scroll down on to access everything. It does have a side menu here. There's home, there's assignments, there's announcements. Molly's not gonna, I don't think she's gonna really use those a whole lot. So, just to warn
Yeah.
you, it's not a, announcement. But I know that you only have a few interns, so you're probably just gonna like email them directly. So, I'm not gonna go into detail a great deal with that. So it does support, Canvas does support like pages, what are basically web pages, documents, and assignment submissions. So as you can see where it says internships resources here, number one, it's you see these green checks, that means it's available to the students. They can see it. If something is blacked out, I don't think she has anything that's hidden.
Nope, everything's
Oh, here it
open.
is.
Oh yeah,
Just,
there you
just,
go.
just this is a hidden section. The students can't see this. So if there's a little X, if just to kind of show you what it looks like. But all the rest of this now, the students, if they log in, they can see it. So I start with visibility. That's kind of like the best way. All right. So as you go in here and you start to click things like welcome ELAD. This is a Canvas page. You can see that it just gives you information. Then students can hit next and they can go to all the other resources and links and stuff like that. They can click on these. These are websites, and this will go take you to a new tab and stuff. So I'm going to go right back to home. I can go to home
Yeah.
and go right back
So
to this page.
Kim and Sharon, you'll see on all of the pages, I have all of the orientation materials on there. So if you run into an intern that didn't attend orientation, all of that is the first thing they see. So that way they can review it, before meeting with you. That's what Ryan was just showing.
Yeah,
Yep. Thanks, Ryan.
no problem. So here are the assignments. It looks like these are all assignments right here. And you can see that there's due dates on them and points possible. Now, I'm going to show you that let's pretend a student has submitted some work for you to assess. You can go to grades, in which it's going to give you every single student that is a part of this class. I know that each of you only has two. Let's say that Kimberly has Joel. I can come up here and type in Joel, and you'll see that his name comes up. I can click on it, and this is the way I filter it. I suggest doing that so this way you can just access who you need. Okay. So again, it's just, and this is on every single page. So, and you can always just hit X and you'll see everybody again. So let's pretend Joel has submitted some work that you have to assess. Joel. Okay. Now you'll see that these are blanks right here. This is the pre-internship RSVP, parent communication, action research, all these assignments. Now, right now, if they had submitted something, you would see a little square here, which means a document's kind of been put into your inbox. But I'm going to fake it. Let's pretend I have a document that's in there. If I click in here, you'll see that there's a little arrow with a little arrow inside of a square that says, hey, do you want to bring up this speed grader? Now you'll see that the name comes up, the name of the assignment. You'll see points here. You might be like, oh, wow, there's points right there, and there's a comments section. That's all I need. I'm good. We do offer a little bit more complexity to this, unfortunately, so just bear with me. So let's pretend Joel has submitted a work that I have to grade. You click on this thing called Speed Grader. And you'll see right now there's no submission here. Now, when Joel submits something, you'll see a document preview of the assignment that they upload. So let's pretend that this is a PDF document that they've just done all the work on and everything's great. It's time for you to assess. What you would do is you would come over here to this right section, and if it's too small, you can always drag it on over to make it bigger. As long as you I usually do half and half. So this way I can see the page and read it kind of well. And then I can also put in information here. Okay. So what you'll do is, oh, think she fell off.
Oh, yeah, it looks like
Kimberly, I think, fell off. Okay.
Kim.
Um, I'll keep an ear open that if she has to reconnect.
Ryan, while we're waiting a second, I'm actually going to try and see if I can. I think I can see I can upload a document for the test student, and we can see if you can go through it that way.
Sure.
So I see the
Sure.
test. So let me just
Oh, you
see.
do see the test student? Okay.
I do. So I'm going to see if it works while we're waiting for Kim to rejoin.
There it is. Okay, I do see it. Okay.
Okay, now let me see. Will you refresh, Brian? It might show up now. Great.
Okay. So I'll
There
go
we
into
go.
parent communication.
Cool. Okay. It's nothing. It's just a document, but
I
yeah,
know, it's fine.
perfect.
Let me
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep going and
Yeah, yep. And we'll
uh,
just, we recorded it so Kim can come back to it. Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna go back into Speed Grader again, and now you'll actually see the preview of the document. Okay. So see, this is up there. She is. Perfect timing. Hey Kimberly, you back? We didn't really go ahead very far.
Sorry, my computer just decided to just shut down and restart. No
No
warning at all.
problem. We actually figured something out on our end, which is going to allow Ryan to show you guys better something. So that's
Okay, sorry
good.
about that.
All good.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So what Molly did was she put me in as a test. She put a document up into test students. So this way I can kind of demonstrate how you grade something. So on the left-hand side here is a little document preview. Now, if you would prefer, you can always, if you want to, give feedback using this way. My suggestion is just use the comment box down here. It's a really big space where you can type things out. If you prefer, you can always click on these little icons to give them feedback. There's a little section here in which you can drag in here and you can start typing comments. This is a comment. If I can spell correctly, this is a comment. There we go. You go like that. You can do more if you want to. I always just suggest putting the feedback down here because it
Mm-hmm.
makes life easier. But again,
Yep.
it's really up to you. Now, this is important. You see here that says grade out of 21, and then down here you see a rubric. You're like, well, what do I do? We have to complete using the rubrics. The reason being is we have to get all this granulated data collected. So this way we can collect it and report it to CAPE. So when you come in and something is attached to a rubric like this, you have to assess them based on a rubric. So let's say, this test student did fantastic. Task one did exemplary. I'm going to click that, and you'll see that the scores populate in here. Task 2A, they did well. Okay, 2B, I'm not going to say they were exemplary. I'm going to say they're competent. Task 3 was also competent. Task 4 was great. Task 5, you get the picture. Okay, what happens is this is calculating it for me already. And if these are all the scores that I want, I'm going to click something called Submit Assessment. If I want to put down information like, okay, I could do this, let me type this out. I want to give feedback. Feedback's important. Let me type this out. If you also prefer, you can download the student's document and do markup changes if you like that. If you like to go in there, you could download it and upload the attachment back to them with your comments. If that's how you prefer to do it, you can do that. If not, digital, in this way, digital is kind of really nice because it can help you just go faster. But again, if you prefer having the actual document, you can download it, put your feedback on it, you can re-upload it. So I'm going to put down information to test. You did great. You did great, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then if you want to upload a document, you can click this little attachment here. This little attach symbol will allow you to put a document back up. If you prefer, if you want to give audio feedback, you can. If you want to do video, you can. It's really up to you how you want to do feedback. But when you're done, you click the submit assessment and then submit comments. and that'll all go into the site. Molly, I'm not going to do that if that's okay. It's just going to,
Yep.
yeah, it's just going
Yep.
to junk your data with nothing. So let's
And
pretend,
then, yeah,
yeah,
Kim and Sharon, I think I wanted to just highlight where Ryan was saying that you can add an attachment, you can attach a document.
yeah, right here.
This is particularly helpful when you are uploading or scoring your students' observations. So you're going to go right ahead and just upload that report that you wrote up the form. So that way you don't have to retype all of your comments. You can just put in the comment, see attached, see attached observation form. Same thing with like when we go to mentor evaluations, you're going to be responsible for mirroring those numerical scores and inputting the numerical data, but you don't need to retype out people's comments. You can just put see attached, but that's what you'll really want to use that feature for. And I want to echo what Ryan said of we typically just use this comment box. I really don't have folks that do all of the fancy like highlighting or
Oh, the
snipping. Certainly if
markup
you
and
want
stuff.
to,
Yeah, it's really a,
you're welcome to, but please know it's not expected. I don't do it.
yeah.
It's
Neither
you can
do
just
I.
utilize the comment box, like
Neither do
Ryan
I.
said, but it is there should you feel fancy. So great. Thanks, Ryan. Yep.
So let's pretend I graded everything. I'm done. I hit the submit buttons. If you want to go back to your grade book, you just click on this top left icon. It says grade book. And now it's going to go slow because obviously it's 3:18 in the afternoon. Okay, you know what? Let's pretend I just did that. Luckily, I kept the tabs open. No, no. Oh, darn it. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so the score will end up here if it's worked. Okay. So that's Canvas in a nutshell. And again, if you want to go back to, the main page, you can always go here. These are breadcrumbs. This will take you back to the main page. If you click dashboard, it's going to take you out of the course, but you can go right back into the course. Um, Sometimes students might send you messages in inbox. That is kind of like it's kind of like an email, like it's kind of like a Canvas messaging service. So if you see little icons right here, you may just want to check it. Now, a lot of times this will send a clone copy to your Outlook. It'll send it to your email. But I've noticed sometimes the messages don't always sync up. So just to warn you, if you see little icons here with ones and twos and tens, it's probably somebody might be trying to contact you. So just to be on the lookout for that. So that's really, I think, all you need when it comes to Canvas. Now, I will say this is that as you go on the site, as you look at this full site, I suggest you just look at everything. It's all here for you. All the due dates are here. If you want to contact your people, hey, October 30th is coming up. It's time for the formal, observation number 2. You can do that. And here's all the different documents, the GEI handbook, the internship handbook. These are all resources for them to have to complete. By week is here too, so it's all organized all on the same page.
Yeah, Ryan, do you want to show them what the student view looks like so they can see what
Yeah, I could do
students
that.
see?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
View a student. And you'll see that it looks very much for this class, it'll look very similar. See? It's gotten rid of some of the stuff that shouldn't have that is invisible to them.
So every week, right, they have their timesheets that are due. There's going to be some assignments that I have due dates listed, like the parent communication form technically is not due until the very end. That's one of those assignments we talked about checking in on, making sure they're maintaining their log. And with some of the observations, you'll see that I have the due dates staggered. So they're about once a month, but we know that we're flexible on that. It's just to aim to try to keep students on somewhat of a schedule. But just know that you determine, in terms of grading, students usually aren't penalized for things being a little bit past the deadline. We're a little flexible here, but those deadlines are there to help ground a little bit and give students at least some sense of time to try to hold them accountable and to help them pace and spread things out over the semester.
Mhm.
But really the one that they will lose credit for if it's not turned in, on a weekly basis is the timesheets. So they can get partial credit, but those really lose their kind of integrity if they're not submitted when they're due. Because if you're submitting a timesheet for August in October, that's really just not valid, or like I said, that integrity is gone. So
Yep. And
those
here's
you'll
this right
see.
here. As you can see
Yep.
right here. Here's
They
the
can get a 2 if it's on time and has a full, thorough reflection. And if they upload it late, or it's just sort of very minimal or not complete in terms of reflections, they can still get partial credit, but they don't, they don't deserve the full credit that students who are turning it on time, have earned. So you might have heard me talk about that in the meeting. I talked about how that scale adjusted. You used to either you did it or you didn't, 0 or 1. And now we've upped it to 0, 1, 2 to try to, account for some of that gray area. Mm-hmm. And then, Ryan, if you'll go to the assignments page, you guys will notice on the top right corner of each group. Oh, sorry, we're still in student view, Ryan. If you can go back.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Each group of assignments, it shows how much they're weighted. So assignments are 15% of the grade. Evaluations are 15%. Observations are 60%. That's the bulk of their grade. Timesheets are 10% of their grade. And so as you're scoring, you might notice, oh, this is weird. The action research is 45 points, but the, formal observation is only 27. It all works out with the weighted grading. So the bulk of their score is coming from those formal observations. And we talked about, I was just sharing this with Ryan, we talked about it in our meeting last week, how our goal for them is proficiency. And proficiency for the formal observations, Ryan, will you go to the rubric for one of those formal observations?
Yes.
And we can look at that real quick. You'll see that proficient is a 2.8. So, right, they can still earn an A. That equates to almost 100% would be exemplary, which some students will get exemplaries. But if they're earning proficient, they're going to earn an A in terms of like numerical kind of course value. And even with a developing 2.5, right, if we have a mix of developing, proficiency, and exemplary, and we're moving from that towards more proficiency, right, towards the end, that's going to, again, result in an A. So you'll see on some of the rubrics, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, but for these, we have proficiency is weighted differently because this is more performance-based. So you'll notice that on those. All right, Ryan, should we pause for some questions? Or Kim and Sharon, I guess I should back up a little bit. Did you, and I just sent it today, so you might not have checked yet, but in your email, you should have received an invitation to join the 2 courses that correspond with your students' certification areas.
Yep. So when you enter Canvas, you'll get like a little banner up here, or you can check your email from Notre Dame, either one, and you can hit accept, and it'll enter you into this course. We are able to we can actually go out and enroll people if we have to. We can do that for instructors as well. So when you first log in, you'll probably get a banner. Make sure you hit accept.
Got it.
Yeah, got that.
So any questions about Canvas?
Oh, Ryan, could you show them? Sorry, Kim, I keep these things keep coming up. Could you show them how to mark somebody as excused for an assignment? Because we do have some of those.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's say, and I'll do it for the test student because he was already in here. So let's say for some reason, I don't know, the timesheet,
timesheet
1.
Mm-hmm. Some people are excused from that if their school doesn't start yet. Yep.
I'm going to go to here. You hit the speed grader button, and you can just hit excused right here. And it's not going to weigh it. It's just going to excuse it. It's not going to be counted towards anything. It just basically becomes a non-factor for the grading.
Mm-hmm.
And the system does automatically count as late if they submit it late, but it doesn't take any points off. It's just kind of like a warning or banner saying, "Hey, this is late. This was submitted like 37 minutes late or something like that." Just to let you know, it does kind of give you these color codings, and it is very helpful. because you can see who submitted it late and early. You don't have to go
Yeah.
digging it up
Especially for the timesheets, which are dependent, right? You can
on
see,
time. Yeah.
and same thing, like if I'm sorry, I'm too generous, but if they submit it, it's due at 11:59. If they submit it at 12:01, it's fine. That's not, super late. But it will show you how much past the due date, and that will impact their score. So you can pay attention to those banners. Yeah, and it automatically does that for you, like Ryan
Yeah,
said.
it'll say like 0.97 days late or something.
Mhm.
It does it metrically, but obviously figure out it's almost a day late. So yep.
So
Um
if they don't turn the timesheet in on time, say like a day goes by, would you recommend we go in and click missing?
Yes. Yep. So they're due Mondays at 11:59 p.m. So if you log in on Tuesday morning and it's not there, I would definitely go in and check missing because that's also going to flag to the student, hey, this is missing. I got to get this in because I want to get some partial credit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
yep.
for any of the assignments, really, Kim, right? If you see things start to pass and it's like, hey, we did your first observation a while ago. You need to get this uploaded, right? That just is kind of an indicator for them as they're logging into the course. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay. Once you get going and the first time or two, it's going to be like a little, white knuckled, like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Once you start like going in here and doing one or two, you'll start to get the hang of it and see what works. It's fairly intuitive. But I know that, with some people, we need to practice. Like me, I need to practice before I become really comfortable in it. So, there's really, if something happens, you can always reach out to Molly or myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Everything
please
can be fixed. Don't
yeah,
panic. Like
yeah,
if you,
yeah,
I've had people go in and be like, I accidentally entered somebody's wrong score on the wrong student in this. I can go back in and fix it.
yep,
I can see everything. I can do everything. We can fix it. We can always
yep.
fix it.
You can always return it. You don't even have to return it to a zero. You can return it to like nothing.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
it's just a matter of just ungrading it. It's very manageable. So don't freak out. Just reach out. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you
Um,
might notice, guys, too, that if you don't see your student's name, like in the grade book or in the people, it means they haven't registered yet,
yeah,
which is what I'm doing. So this week, I'm going through my list of everybody that is eligible or that filled out an application, and I'm reminding them, letting them know they need to get registered. They need to get in. But this is what we talked about in our meeting last week about this gap between the start of the internship and the technical start of the semester.
yeah,
So don't panic. We'll get them caught up. They can retroactively put in timesheets if they need to without being penalized. And I'll send an email about that with some more guidance. But just know that if this list looks small or somebody's missing, it's because they're not registered yet. And that's, we're working on reminding students to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right. And then Molly wanted me to show you the website. So I was
Yeah.
going to
Thank you,
show.
Ryan.
No, that's okay. The website. Did you want me to show you the student website or the
You
fat?
want to do both, Ryan, or
Cool.
just so they have them and they
Yeah. So
can,
what I'm going to do is inside the chat.
mhm.
And I'll send this to Molly too. She can send it to you. But let me just put this in the chat real quick. Hold on a second. Let me get when I share my screen, it's really hard to get a hold of here. Let me put it into the chat real quick. All right. So this is the student one. It's a helpful website, and I'll go back to share it now. I'm currently working on this one for Wednesday, but we have like new student orientation, but it's helpful if students have like questions that might come up like, okay, well, how do I access my student email? Or you guys don't have to worry about like pointing them in the direction of the bookstore or anything like that, but maybe you have a student that's a little by now they should be really comfortable with Canvas, but maybe they need the library. They haven't something to do with research or something like that. They can click on the library and this is a great site. If it comes up, there we go. That has everything to do with the library, all the information, the website, the address, the links that are helpful, how to get to the databases, the services they offer, etc. Let's see. On the home page, There's the university mission, just information about the university. There's the academic calendar, which is a really good link to have, not just for students, but also as instructors. You can kind of keep track. I know that you all are doing 15-week, well, student teaching, so it's, you're
It's
kind
like
of,
even longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's 5 million weeks. No, it goes longer anyway, but you can keep track of like the academic calendar. Here's Gator Hub. This is the same link that you use to get to your email and to Canvas and stuff. They can use it too. There's a student handbook. I think here's the graduate level, which is I just revised this last year, so it should all be here. If there's a policy or procedure that you're interested in, you could probably go here and find it. It's under 50 pages, so it's not too bad. Um, feathering my if I had hair, it'd be a feather in my cap. I felt pretty good. We got it all up and running. There is an undergrad one, which I don't think you have to access. It's older. There's the honor code here, which gives now this honor code's older. It was written before AI and stuff. But there's the honor pledge and information. If you want them to do that, they can. There's the framework. I won't bore you to death with it. Um, there is the Office of Accessibility. So if you have students that have any needs or services, you can and they're like, oh, I have. They might disclose. By now, they should have disclosed. But if they have some sort of like learning challenge, they're the ones that really should be bringing it up to you and to the instructor. You don't have to really chase them down. They should let you know. And they can, and again, if they have to, by again, they're teacher interns now. They've been through the system. They should really know this. If they need counseling information, there's the counseling center. They can request virtual appointments and stuff. And there are community standards here that kind of go over like the expected behaviors and stuff. When to refer somebody. Again, a lot of this is for people that are on campus, undergrads, but it still obviously applies to students here. And there's a student,
Ryan, sorry,
yeah,
with that progress monitoring too will be a good one.
that wouldn't be on the student.
When you get to when you
Yep,
do the
yep.
faculty. Yep.
So this is the useful stuff for a student. So if you want this
Yeah.
link, I gave it to you. So let me go to, hold on one second. I accidentally closed the teacher one. Okay. So the School of Education also provides a School of Education website for the instructors. So faculty, we have a lot of associate faculty for university supervisors. This will be absolutely valuable. And again, I'll put the link in the chat. Come on. There we are. Still don't think I could. Here, let me stop sharing and I'll just put it in the chat and then I'll start sharing it again. All right, so this one is the universe. This is for again faculty, associate faculty, university supervisors. Obviously, will find a lot of value in this as well. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you have and again, it's quite intricate. Please make sure to review this site. It's very helpful. Let's say you have a student that's really struggling, and you want to bring it up to the attention of the advisors to School of Education leadership. You're going to click on this progress monitoring form. It's just a Google Doc. But you can come in here and you can say that, you can provide your name as university supervisor, the course number, which would be obviously the internship number, and you put the name of the student. You say, what's your concerns? Is it attendance? Is it participation? Is it completion of their science, of their assignments? Is it some sort of circumstance, or is it other? And then just type in what your concern is and hit the submit button. This form goes to a form that we share with the advisors. And then in the background, we actually talk about it and we try to provide them support in some way. We talk about the student. We see if we can come up with interventions to help them. We try to get them back on the right track. And if not, it's at least documentation that we're trying our best to help them. So this is progress monitoring, and we meet every third or sixth week of our 8-week cycle. So it's usually like 4 times a 15-week semester. Go ahead, Molly.
So definitely, folks, if you're having an issue with an intern, I am the first one you should reach out to for sure. But this, I'm going to encourage you to fill out as well, because like Ryan said, it notifies the advisors and it also notifies our leadership team. It helps us to keep really just a track record and documentation so that if we do need to come up with a progress plan, or if things escalate, we sort of have this documentation of the efforts that we have made to support the student. So certainly reach out to me first. I will remind you to fill this out, but know that this is a little bit more formality, and I will help you through that. But we often do like to involve the student's advisor as well, whether it be just like, usually our most common issues during internship, which we talked about, are like a lack of responsiveness, timeliness with getting assignments in. Occasionally we get like, inappropriate use of AI, plagiarism, things like that would be, something we could navigate here. And this is definitely going to be more of repeated issues. It's not, oh, this person didn't turn in one assignment. That doesn't warrant this. These are definitely a little bit more. But like I said, I'm the first line of defense, and I'll kind of help you navigate whether it should be pushed to this or not. But it is a really good tool that we've used here, and it's part of our kind of like student support and our continuous development, and in the School of Ed.
So on the website as well, there's the conceptual framework. There is the I'm just going to pass this old handbook. It's an old one. There are the dispositions. There is the assessment protocols. This is an updated, so the undergraduate grading scale was recently revised. So I just today revised the undergraduate scale on this page. So it's all updated. It gives you the proper grades for undergraduate. Nothing's changed with the graduate ones, which I think you all are on the graduate scale. So that stayed the same. So this is your grading scale for the class. And again, it's just the rubric protocols to what we have going on with the rubrics. Try to see. If you need a little bit of help with Canvas, there is a Canvas site here. Some of it's outdated. I do have to go through this, but some of it's useful for like, if you really just, after this call, you're like, what the heck am I doing? You can go here and go to all of these like little snippet. These are little videos. They're like quick little tutorials. You're more than welcome to go here. But I really went into the weeds with how many instructions there are. So like 90% of this stuff you don't have to worry about. I just put it here in case I had an instructor that really had a question, they wanted to see something about it. And then just, how do I use the course homepage as an instructor? It's things to like really assist you. So there's tutorials for Canvas on here. If you decide to do like Microsoft Teams, like meetings and stuff, you can go here, and this kind of gives you a little bit of a tutorial on how to do Microsoft Teams. Since we're meeting on Zoom, but you have a free Teams account when you join the university. If you want to do Microsoft Teams, you can. And here are some instructions to kind of provide you with some guidance.
I think that'll be helpful, Ryan. They're going to be using Teams to host their triad meetings. So the initial meetings that they have with interns, and then when they do post, observation conferences. So those Teams resources are going to be very helpful for them.
Yep. So in Outlook, when you have your calendar, it's very easy. You just go to the calendar and say, okay, I'm going to do this on June 1st at 9 a.m. You go to June 1st, you go to 9 a.m. You literally click the calendar and the team link is embedded. You just have to slide it over. It becomes a Teams meeting. And then you can invite all of your teacher interns. You just type in their names. If you have somebody else that you want to invite, anybody who's in the Outlook system, you just type in their name and you add them, and then it'll send them an invite to join the Teams meeting whenever it's scheduled. So here's information on how to use Microsoft Teams. Yep, and it's just, channels. You really don't have to worry about channels very much. It's just you're probably sticking to just your Microsoft team. So there's that. There are contacts pages here if you need contacts. Here's the people. In fact, I had to update this. That's what I'm working on Wednesday. So there is some contact information, but again, you're going to be working very closely with Molly, so she's the your contact. So, and then there's the advisors too, and you'll see Molly's in here. Oh, actually, no, Molly's the director, so she's not going to be in here. But there's also the advisors and their contact information. I may have to update that too. I have to add Jordan, I think. So anyway, so there's information here about like contacts. There's if I'm trying to think of anything else, there's EdTPA information here. I don't know if do they need that, Molly?
Sorry, Ryan, I was muted. What was the question?
Do they need EdTPA information at all?
No, Lisa spoke to us about it a little bit at the meeting, and we were in limbo space because Pearson is being Pearson.
Oh, really?
So they know that if they, well, I'm going to send out an email. I would like to say I think they know, but I don't think I've been clear about it. If a student has questions about EdTPA, you're going to direct them to their EdTPA instructor. And I will give you their information, ladies, so that you have it. Like we've talked about, you're pretty hands off with EdTPA because it's an assessment of their work, not your work. And we defer to the instructors for that. But certainly, if you got a question about it, you can also forward it to me in case it's something that we can't answer, and you'll kind of figure that out as we go. But and right now, Angela's on sabbatical, Ryan, for fall, so it's going to just be Jody and Lisa. But I'll send that to you all.
Yep.
Ladies. Thank you, Ryan. Yep.
No problem. And the final thing I think that'd be most beneficial on this website is the self-service. Now, self-service is they're putting grades in the system, right? So, right, Molly?
No. So
Okay.
I do all the
Never
final
mind.
grades. Yep.
Yeah. Then I don't think you have to worry about that.
They don't have to. Yep.
It's
We're good.
Yeah, so I mean that's really it when it comes to the websites and the information. It's helpful. I mean, I tried to show you the sites and the pages that would be most relevant to you all as university supervisors. Um, the student ones are good for resources if you really need to know about, there is the graduate handbook in there that could be helpful. There is the SOE contacts if you need help with that. So those websites are really meant to like help with not just our faculty, but also with our university supervisors when it's relevant. So, do you have any questions about the website? Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to put my if there's something technical that you have a question about, I'll put my email address in here. I mean, 9 times out of 10, Molly will probably be able to answer it, but if you really need me, you're more than welcome to email me and I'll get back to you. Just be as specific as possible with what is wrong or what you need help with. And if I can't help you, I can probably steer you in the right direction and give you guidance. A lot of times I can even help you just via email. I can really just tell you what to click on after I investigate. But yeah, you can just reach out to Ryan and he'll help you out.
Thank you, Ryan. This is really appreciated. It's a lot. They have so much to learn. I always tell them our Notre Dame is like alphabet soup, all of our programs and the acronyms, and the poor things sat through like an hour and a half supervisors meeting last week that probably just sounded like Greek. So it's, but once you get into it, like you said about Canvas, once you get in there and you get a couple assignments scored, it'll start to feel more comfortable. And I think the consensus has been, since we just switched to Canvas last year, has been really positive from faculty, from students, from all stakeholders, much better than our previous systems or lack thereof. So you're coming in at a good time.
Yep. It's, Canvas is kind of like, if they can keep their security up, it's a pretty good, stable system. We're trying to invest in it for our assessment. That's why I have you with those rubrics. I'm making you do all the score rubric by rubric, because we're really trying to invest money in like capturing assessment data. So to do that, we have to have even the little dot, the threes, the twos, the ones, we all have to calculate that up. So this way we can do our reporting, and we have a stellar reputation of keeping our accreditation. So we're gonna keep going at it. So yeah.
Good.
All right.
Awesome. Well,
ladies, don't hesitate to reach out with anything that comes up. I'm going to be emailing this week. Things are updating, changing, all the things. So you'll be hearing from me. I know Ellen was helping you get out your triad meetings and everything. And once now students are getting back to school, we'll start start ramping up. So,
Yep.
all right, Ryan, and you'll send out
Sounds
this
good.
recording and those links for us.
Absolutely. I'll send
Thank
it
you so
to you.
much.
I will send it to you. It'll take probably about 15 minutes. I can try and do it before I leave today.
It's all good.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Thank you
Thank
guys so
you.
much. Thank you.
Bye.
Take
Ladies.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.